अभी जैसा कि आपको पहले तो धन्यवाद है, इतनी गर्मी के बावजूद आपको यहाँ पर इंतज़ार करना पड़ा। ये जो प्रोजेक्ट है जिसका जिक्र ज़ुबैर साहब कर रहे थे, इसकी सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है वो शायद धीरे धीरे हमें समझ में आएगी, क्योंकि बहुत सारे समाज के बहुत सारे वर्ग में इसका शायद अभी इतना कॉन्सेप्ट भी नहीं है, और इट इज़ गोइंग टू अकम्प्लिश मोर देन वन थिंग्स एट ए टाइम। एक, it is going to be the first of its kind in India, though this entire region is afflicted by drug abuse, Punjab, Jammu. So we are actually trying to prove to the world that a substance of abuse can be put to the use and welfare of the mankind, particularly in mind. The second, vindication. Third, the drug which gets developed from this experiment will be of export quality, and thereby we live up to Prime Minister Modi's mantra of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Fourth, हमने एक बहुत गंभीर प्रयास किया है फॉर अ वाइडर सिनर्जी। जैसे आपने देखा अंतरिक्ष में जो हमारी सफलताएं हो रही हैं इस समय, वो इसलिए कि वी हैव ओपनड अप स्पेस सेक्टर अंडर प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी फॉर प्राइवेट सेक्टर एज वेल। सो विद इन 2 years वी हैव 150 स्टार्टअप्स इन द स्पेस सेक्टर, प्राइवेट स्टार्टअप्स। इसी तरह से इस प्रोजेक्ट के माध्यम से भी वी आर एंगेजिंग इन अ वाइडर पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टिसिपेशन, एंड द प्राइवेट एजेंसी इज गोइंग टू बी फ्रॉम कैनेडा। तो इसके लिए बहुत चैलेंजिंग था। इट टुक अस लॉट ऑफ टाइम फर्स्ट टू कन्विंस आवर प्राइवेट पार्टनर टू एंगेज विद अस here in India, that too in Jammu. Then to get the government of India's approvals, because as all of you know, this is a prohibited substance. So to convince the authorities that this is going to be put to good use, not to abuse. That was the second challenge. Third, as Dr. Zubair was mentioning, transportation, because the transportation of itself invites rule of law. So to get special permission to transport it for trials. And our fourth stage will be commercialization and through the pharma companies. The cultivation process takes about 6 months. From the field through the lab development, finally up to the pharma shelf, it is about 2 months, not a long period. The drug that is developed has a special significance for patients suffering from debilitating pains particularly resulting from cancers, malignancies. Also cruciating diabetic pains, diabetic neuropathy is sometimes a very cruciating, leads to depression also in many patients. Thirdly, in case of nerve pains happening as a result of or a follow-up of injuries. And as we move forward, like any other drug, we go to the next generation of this drug, we'll also try to minimize the side effects, so that the potency of the effect that we want as a pain reliever gets improved and the side effects get reduced. So this is, and as far as IIIM is concerned, I don't know how many of us are aware, and I think this is something that we need to tell a little loudly and blow the trumpet also. This is a third major achievement going to be from IIIM, which is of world level. This is same institute which came out with the mint tablet, which is used all over the world. It's not known over here. The mint trial was done in the same lab by Colonel Ramnath Chopra, the founder of this lab, who was later knighted, became Sir Ramnath Chopra. Secondly, the aroma mission was also initiated in the same lab. Lavender cultivation, about which Prime Minister Modi spoke in Mann Ki Baat for about 7 minutes. And third is going to be this landmark. And this is going to place Jammu and Kashmir and Jammu as a front-line territory as far as medical research and development is concerned, particularly in the area of healthcare in relation to diseases which are now acquiring almost an epidemic proportion, whether it's the malignancy or diabetes. And I think at the social level, it might have another impact to change the mindset of the people, that look here, every product which God has given us has certain virtues as well. It is up to us what way we use it. And I think this is going to give a new direction to the utility of this product, which is otherwise become notorious for misuse or abuse.
Sir, how to check it's
No, we will have a license. You're right. It requires approval, and I agree with you It is a prohibited. Nobody, otherwise people will start cultivating it rampant and use it as for addiction purposes. So this is going to be a regulated cultivation for which we had to go through all these approvals. That's why it's taken about 2-3 years, because we had to convince the authorities. First of all, the authorities were not aware whether this can be done, because this is the first time we are taking up over here. So we had to give them some instances of places outside India, other places where it was being used for good purposes. Then after getting the approval for cultivation, which they did over here, the field you see outside is cultivation. Now the next stage is even transportation is prohibited. Otherwise anybody, so to get approval for transportation, which they have got in principle, in a day or two they'll receive the order. And after we are through with that, we are able to carry that product to the lab. Then the third stage would be, and lab we have already engaged in discussion for trials at Tata Memorial Hospital with AIIMS. Then the next stage would be commercialization, for which some of the pharma companies have already approached them. But as you said, for that also we'll have to go for another approval.